I think one of the most moving things I've I've ever read in a philosopher is Emerson's paragraph about grief. He has this phrase, "The only thing grief has taught me is how shallow it is." And then he says, I know, because my son died last year.
Yes.
And it was the most terrible thing that could have happened. Well, he'd already had a wife die, so he'd had a lot of tragedy in his life. He knew grief, and he knew that grief and mourning was knowing that the most terrible catastrophe had happened, that a part of, a life that was almost part of you, like a limb, has been torn off. But then the extraordinary thing about grief is that actually you survive it.
Mm.
You may not want to survive it. I mean, if someone says to you and you're grieving, "Oh, cheer up, you'll get over it," that's the last thing you want to hear. You don't want to get over it. You want to cling to your grief forever. But actually, you won't. You will find delight in other things, even if you shouldn't. And I think that is a shocking thing for a moralist to say, in a way, that how shallow grief is.